real quick because the kid from England, like I was talking to when I had Noy Bramble on, I think is actually a much better boxer and fighter than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, of course, is an American. He's flashy. He's a good interview. He's a good read, so he'll get more of the press. But he better watch out for this cat. I'll let you turn it over. Let me find this dude's name real quick.
Well, the point is that you have to actually look for it is very disturbing.
Exactly.
And what I was saying, and I've been saying, is why people like MMA is because in boxing you can't believe in what you're seeing. You cannot believe in what you're seeing. You have a billion different champions, okay, and you got all these crooked ass promoters. At least in MMA, these guys fight. You know, the best is going to fight the best, and as you. A clear example of that is we're about to have a fight this weekend with Conor McGregor, who is an a-hole, but I like him, okay, and Nate Diaz. They hate each other, but they're going to fight again, okay? And we were going to have John Bones Jones. It was going to fight Cormier. Those were 1 and 2 champions. That doesn't happen in boxing, man. This whole boxing.
Well, first off, you're kind of off base here because your sport has definitely had its own issues with drugs. Backroom dealings and whatnot. So let's not act like MMA is totally above the fray here, brother.
I'm not talking about drugs, sir.
Brock Lesnar.
I'm not talking about drugs. I am talking about the best fight the best. Please explain. In their prime.
First off, in my opinion, yeah, the best may fight the best, but most of them are boring-ass fights. That's why I don't get into MMA. I mean, a lot of dudes kind of rolling around hugging each other. And by the way, if I get you, get a hold of your arm this way, you can tap out in 2 seconds. It's over. I don't know, man. But anyway, Anthony Joshua is the kid from the United Kingdom. He's the IBF champion. Right. 17-0, 17 knockouts. Deontay Wilder's 37-0, 36 knockouts. And then the fringe champion, Tyson Fury, also from the United Kingdom. He is the WBO. He's kind of the lineal heavyweight champion. He's the man that beat the man to beat the man to beat the man, if you want to go back and trace it. But, he's 6'8", a big guy, but doesn't really have a lot of boxing skills. So I really focus on these other two gentlemen here. And, but I just think boxing's a better sport. Check it out. Good fights coming up.
I do watch boxing, actually.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good.
But you clearly don't watch MMA. Clearly,
I don't watch a lot of it. No, I don't.
I will watch just as much. I mean, I'll watch boxing. I damn sure won't pay for a boxing match.
No, I won't either. I won't either because here's where boxing shoots themselves in the foot, my brother. Stuff that should be on HBO and Showtime, and they have the free series, the Premier Boxing Champions, that kind of rotates networks. So one weekend they'll have a nice card on like CBS Sports. The next weekend it's on ESPN. Next time it'll be over on NBC Sports. It's real cool. It's bringing a lot of new viewers actually to boxing. But the thing with boxing, they keep putting cards on pay-per-view that have no business being pay-per-view cards. And
Vince. That's because the best duck each other, Vince. They have nobody else but to put on there. I mean, shit. I'm agreeing with you. It is a very talented sport. Like, it is the sweet science back in the days. Now you got 5 years in between when Pacquiao and Mayweather should have fought, man.
No, listen. I understand what you're saying there, man.
Okay.
I thought you were just asking me which sport I liked better.
Well, I know you like boxing better.
And I've talked about all this stuff, countless times on my show and other shows. That's exactly the problem with boxing. Yeah, we get that. And, certain promoters, now it's becoming a De La Hoya dominated thing with Golden Boy Promotions. And now he's starting to get a little too much power for his good. And, we're starting to see where Oscar and his outfit was supposed to be the organization that kind of broke that stereotype that you just named. He's actually becoming basically the new Don King, the new Bob Arum.
And power absolutely corrupt, sir.
Yeah.
So
real quick, but go ahead, boss.
What are your thoughts about them changing the Olympic rules in track and field, man, and stopping this sliding, like, or that happened with the Jamaican sprinter?
Do whatever you got to do. I really don't give two tiddlywinks about it.
Okay,
if it's legal for someone to dive through the through the tape, get your ass there sooner. That's all I got to say.
But again, that's us Americans hating to lose, because if that was an American sprinter, we would be like, man, she did anything to win.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, hey, that girl did everything to win. If she can dive through and there's no rules against it, I ain't got a problem with it. So congratulations to her.
Cool. All right, my brother. Well, let's move on. I think you and I had talked before about some of these NFL players and not holding themselves accountable. And, Miss Story jumped in. And go ahead.
And let's do this. Let's play the sound clip that you sent me here earlier.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. More stuff on the Roger Goodell front here from Reggie. Where'd you get the sound clip from? We got to give them their credit.
Yeah, so this was on Mike and Mike, and the reason I recorded it is because I like Damian Woody, and you had Booger McFarland. So these are two prominent African American players. They were great players, great in college. So that's where I got it from.
Cool. All right. Well, here we go, folks. And this is about a 3-minute sound clip. So we'll be right back after this.
And this is what I would think, if you're a football fan, you're not going to like. If the standard is, as Roger Goodell in the league office is making clear, anything we determine to be conduct detrimental, even if it's just this detrimental, just a tiny bit, is suspendable, there is no upward bound on that. Like, if you can be suspended for not talking, it is absolutely on the board that you could be suspended for unpopular political speech. Like, what if Roger Goodell sends out a memo to all the players? Listen, this is a very polarizing election. People are angry on both sides. Our data has shown us people come to the NFL as an escape from it. While again, I'm making this up, but if they had data, during election season, our ratings actually go up. Interest in us goes up because people are they want to escape from, either Hillary or Trump or whatever. So, guys, we don't want you to openly support either candidate. We want to get through November 8th as America's escape from this. We think that is what's best for the league. And a player comes out and says, I am voting for Hillary Clinton, and here's why. I am voting for Donald Trump, and here's why. Is that conduct detrimental? It's conduct that the league would feel is not in its best interest. If the league wants to stay agnostic on Black Lives Matter, and Richard Sherman and Michael Bennett want to have that debate that they've had, is that conduct detrimental? Oh, Nick, you can't suspend someone from that. It's their First Amendment right. Well, it's your Fifth Amendment right to not tell on yourself. It's not about your rights. These guys don't have any rights. And the craziest part about all this is the reason Goodell is, even if you think Goodell's awesome, and even if you think he's done a great job, you concede, I'm sure, he has struggled on the punishment stuff. And somehow his failures on punishing players have given him more power on punishing players. It hasn't gone in the...
All right, folks, we had a little technical issue there. That was actually a clip that I played on my Sports Done Right show regarding the Roger Goodell issue.
Because there's no point to it. I'm not going to dignify the situation.
Hold on. Reg. Hold on 1 second there. All right. Okay. Reg is going to try and play this here from his from
my computer.
Phone. Oh, the computer. So go ahead.
All right.
Inflammatory comment, you say, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Like James Harrison saying, why do I even have to be a part of the circus? Because there's no point to it. I'm not going to dignify the situation. Why are you wasting my time?
Well, isn't that same like, if a crime happened, you're a person of interest, they ask you one, they're going to ask you a question. They're going to question you. I mean, if you don't have anything to worry about, you go in there, take care of business, then you get out of there, and they let you go about your business. So that's kind of how I look at this whole thing. Listen, at the end of the day, this is bigger than this whole Al Jazeera thing. Right. This is all about collective bargaining, and that's not going to resolve itself until we get around to the next collective bargaining agreement. And ultimately, the players going to have to be willing to miss some checks in order for things to really change. Because the only way things change is when money is on the line. Mm-hmm. And if you're not willing to miss checks, it's going to be the status quo. It's going to be the same thing. From a power standpoint, I've said this before. The players chose less practice days, fewer practices in pads, and the owner chose money. And the NFL continues to float the idea of an 18-game schedule out there. To me, they don't want that. They have 20 games right now, 16 regular season and 4 preseason, and they are making full prices on tickets during the preseason, and they're making money because the players only make a certain preseason. Wow. So the guys that are making $20 million, they get $1,700 in the preseason for every game. Where does the rest of that money go?
Mandatory comment. You say, I'm not even going to dignify
Well,
that
there you
response.
go, folks.
Yep. There we
Hello.
go.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Reg, for that. Again, apologies there. I thought I had it set on my end, people, but you get the gist of it, man. Players going to have to miss game checks, Reggie. What do you think?
What I think isn't this what I said a couple of weeks ago, and then everybody jumped all over me talking about, making excuses for African-American athletes and not being educated and being poor and have to take care of everybody. These are two African-American men, one, Booger McFarland, I think grew up in Louisiana, and then you also have Damian Woody. And I said the exact same thing, is that in order for stuff to change, these guys need to hold out and miss game checks. And people were like, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. But that is the truth. In 2016, if they are upset about Goodell and what's going on, they are going to need to hold out, save some of this money, and basically miss some game checks.
And there you go, folks. The one and only DJ Dollars and Cents. He wanted to set the record straight. Said we were dogging him out there a week or two ago. And he, as he says, plays some validation for you. So what do you think out there in Spreaker land, out there in the SME network? Make sure you checking us out here, SME, Doug Stewart's network, doing big things. XSquadAffiliates.com is the website. And Dollars is on fire, man. He is preaching. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I mean, what were your thoughts on it? Because to me, it's as plain as day. These aren't white athletes. These are prominent black athletes that are very intelligent, that probably didn't grow up with much, if I recall the two different athletes. And they're basically
hold out then.
Yeah. Well, hold out, and how about stop looking out for yourself? And if you expect change to happen by status quo, it ain't going to happen. And he also went on a little bit later to talk about there is a reason why the NFL is one of the weakest leagues. And that's another thing I had said, is that it's weak because the players are all about themselves, and the other leagues, NBA, Major League Baseball, they are more willing to miss checks. They're also smarter about their money, and they stick together and they pool their money together in case they're going to strike. They plan this out years in advance. That is the only way that these players can get power back, get the hammer back. What are your thoughts on what he said?
I'm sorry, I was distracted here. As Matt Stafford's getting killed tonight, man. Detroit that team might just have to just fold it up this season already, man. This dude is just getting teed off on. I'm sorry, I was distracted there, Reg. God, that team.
Stafford's always getting beat up, though.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. Here we go again, Detroit. Here we go again. Hey, I don't know. Just visited